A new Evil Dead spin-off movie is now in production, but it faces a huge challenge after the $147 million sequel from last year. The Evil Dead franchise has been back in a major way in recent years, with Evil Dead Rise and Ash vs. Evil Dead reviving the franchise for a new generation. It seems as if the Evil Dead movies are set to expand even further, although this upcoming continuation does have to deal with a massive lore problem. It has been revealed that Sam Raimi's production company is currently working on an all-new Evil Dead spin-off movie, to the excitement of many fans. This means that there are now 2 Evil Dead spin-offs in development, with these films undoubtedly responding to the box office success of 2023's Evil Dead Rise. Almost no details have been revealed about the newly announced Evil Dead spin-off, but it will have to figure out how to answer one massive question to get out of an Evil Dead lore corner. Evil Dead's upcoming spin-off doesn't have another Necronomicon to use after Evil Dead Rise. Although the Evil Dead movies are mostly fun gorefests, they do have a surprising amount of lore, with this being a problem for the newly announced spin-off. Army of Darkness established that there are only 3 versions of the Necronomicon, fixing a question from the first 2 movies. One of the volumes is the focus of the original Evil Dead trilogy as well as Ash vs. Evil Dead, one is the focus of the 2013 Evil Dead reboot, and the last one is the focus of Evil Dead Rise. Since Evil Dead Rise took up the last Necronomicon, there are no more versions for the upcoming spin-off. This means that the Evil Dead spin-off movie has to act as a sequel to one of the 3 Evil Dead storylines, unless it takes some drastic measures. Evil Dead spin-off would need to take place in a new timeline to avoid franchise retcons. The other option would be to have the Evil Dead spin-off take place in a new Evil Dead timeline, with this being the only way to avoid franchise retcons. It seems like all 3 iterations of Evil Dead take place in one universe, but if the Evil Dead spin-off is a self-contained story, it won't have to worry about explaining the Necronomicon plot hole. Another option would be to have the Evil Dead spin-off take place during the 1920s timeline teased during Evil Dead Rise. This would solve the Necronomicon problem, as it doesn't have to follow up on Evil Dead Rise's story, allowing the Evil Dead franchise to do something entirely new.